Talofa, Manale, Bula and Welcome to Season 5, Episode 55 of Breakfast Bites by TEIVOVOsports.com. A wrap of Pacifica People sports news on a cloudy and wet Sunday morning, 28 May 2023. Coming to you with tons of hanisi from the 180th meridian in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. In Super Rugby, the Fijian Drua shot out twice to establish handy bonus points leads, only for Moana Pasifika to bounce back, and in the end, the Bula boys from Fiji just held out their Pasifika brothers 46-47 in a thriller in the heat of Lautoka, thanks to 3 tries from crack Fijian Drua Centre, Iosefo Masi. In other Super Rugby Pacific games, the Crusaders beat the New South Wales Waratahs 42-18. The Blues hammered the Hurricanes 36-25, and the Chiefs did likewise to the Brumbies 31-21 in Canberra. In rugby league, Canberra Raiders and Souths players were praised for protecting Canberra forward Corey Harawira-Naera with a human shield after he suffered a frightening seizure during their game. With 14 minutes to play in the clash, Harawira-Naera collapsed, causing play to be halted for over 10 minutes. He's now conscious, sitting up and speaking after being rushed to hospital in an ambulance. Who won? Does that really matter? The Broncos beat the New Zealand Warriors 26-22 after the hosts were denied a potential match-winning try due to a penalty in a thriller at McLean Park in Napier. Adam Reynolds was superb in his return, while Tristan Saylor had a brilliant Broncos debut. The St. George Dragons were gifted a try to Jack Bird in their 26-12 loss to the Dolphins after it was revealed they had scored on the 7th tackle of the set in an embarrassing blunder by top NRL referee Adam G. and his on-field assistants. In sports biz, even though YouTube is taking over NFL Sunday Ticket from DirecTV in a US $2 billion annual deal, the satellite provider will still have a presence with the NFL this season, retaining distribution rights for commercial establishments. Most bars and restaurants offering Sunday Ticket are already equipped with DirecTV and would not yet be able to handle the streaming demands for YouTube. In football, Bayern Munich has won the Bundesliga title for an 11th consecutive season after a dramatic final day that saw Borussia Dortmund that is, crumble under pressure and draw at home to Mainz after entering yesterday's final round 2 points clear of Bayern. Unfortunately, Dortmund were stunned in a 2-2 draw after star forward Sebastian Haller missed a penalty. Meanwhile, Bayern travelled to Cologne, where Jamal Musiala scored in the 89th minute to seal a memorable 2-1 victory and another title. And in English football, Luton Town have been promoted to the Premier League for the very first time after beating Coventry City on penalties in a nail-biting championship final at Wembley to complete a fairy tale rise to the very top of English football. The game went to penalty kicks after a 1-1 draw, and Luton had an extra-time goal ruled out for handball by VAR. In boxing, Conor McGregor has dropped a 185-pound bomb on Michael Chandler about their upcoming fight. Have I told you what weight it's going to be? 185, McGregor said. You want to do 185? I'll do 185, Chandler bites, not skipping a beat. You'll do what you're told, McGregor snapped back. I tell you, he's a bit of a nutter, the Irishman, but Chandler has never fought above 160 pounds before. Okay, sports fans, on Background Buzz today, I want to share with you how sporting legends and leaders from more than 20 of Australia's major sports came together in support of the Voice to Parliament campaign. So if you've been living under a rock, Australia is holding a referendum on whether to have an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander representative or voice in their federal parliament later this year. So, 21 sporting organisations penned an open letter to Australian sports fans, which was released last Friday by Australian sporting greats such as Jade North football, Jamie Pittman of boxing, Andrew Gaze basketball, Kath Cox from netball, Mal Meninga rugby league, Jason Gillespie from cricket, and Eddie Betts of the AFL at a combined event in Sydney and Melbourne. Here's what AFL CEO Gillian McLachlan had to say in answer to questions from the media. Was it a unanimous decision from the AFL Commission to support the voice? Every decision the Commission makes is unanimous. I've been on the Commission for a decade, and I don't think anything has gone to a vote. There's discussion and decisions are made, and it was a unanimous decision. What does this signal? I hope that it's a signal for sport, that we see our role as a unifying voice. The fact we speak with one voice, I think, is important. I think it's also important to note, and it was said today, it's not to lecture anyone. People need to make their own decisions, but it's just a view about where the leadership of the sport stands. People say sport and politics don't mix. I'd say we are community organizations. We are required and expected a lot of the time for community leadership. We get criticized when we don't. I don't think you can pick and choose. People want us to be community leaders. Our supporters do, and we believe we are. When you're asked to do that, a lot of times you need to do that consistently. We don't lead on every issue, and we don't lecture people. I think people, if you want to be a member and you want to come and you want to follow a game, people need to say, we've got a leadership stance. That's all we're doing on this. Will the AFL make its stance known at games? No. We put out a statement last week. I think we're going to then be good to our point where we say we're not there to lecture people. We say this is what the leadership of the AFL believes. This is what the AFL believes, and then it's for the people to make their own views. I specifically chose what the AFL CEO McLachlan had to say because Australian rules, or Aussie footy, is easily the biggest football code in Australia, and they still have big problems with racist fans attacking Indigenous players. And this guy, McLachlan, is one of the smartest leaders in sport. And that's a wrap. For TEIVOVOsports.com, I'm Calden Kamea. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons below if you want to receive more Pacifica sports highlights on Breakfast Bites. Malo, Vina'a, and thank you all, Tumas, for all your love and support.